Welcome to all. Today we have a very special class. I was asked a question: is a person allowed to remove the hair between his eyebrows? A certain person came up and he said, Rabbi, he has a unibrow and he wants to be able to remove it either because, it causes him shame, embarrassment, or he wants to go find a shidduch, he wants to get married, and he feels that this is holding him back. Should he have imun in Hashem? It's not the hair, it's Hashem, right? What should he do? Should he look presentable? Is a man allowed to remove the unibrow in order to look presentable and not chas v'shalom be in a state of discomfort, pain, embarrassment? That's what we want to speak about. But at the same time, there is a very powerful musar where the Evan Shalema, which they say the Gaon of Vilna authored it, where he brings to us a very important building foundation for Avodat Hashem. And in my humble opinion, this can be the problem why many people are not able to do mitzvot properly. Why many people can serve Hashem properly. They can't learn Torah properly. We're going to see that also, B'ezrat Hashem. We're going to begin with the halacha. The halacha was asked to Chacham Ovadia. Gever sheben shtei gabot einav, godel lo se'ar u'mechaber b'nehem. If you have a man that between the eyebrows, he has hair growing there, and is connecting his eyebrows. V'nireh kimo gava'a achat. It looks like one eyebrow. Ha'im mutar lo lehorid et ha'se'ar ha'mechaber ben ha'gavaot. Is it permissible for him to remove the hair between the eyebrows? Now, Rabotai, Chacham Ovadia answered over here, it's mutar. You are allowed to do so. The question is, why should it be asur? If we look into Sefer Devarim, in Perik Chav Bet, in Pasuk Hey, it says over there, Lo yekli gever al isha. A garment of a guy should not be on a woman. Meaning to say, Lo tilbash isha beged hamiyuchad liish. A woman should not wear a clothing which is specifically designated for a man. A woman is not allowed to wear a man's garment. But at the same time, it also says, V'lo yilbash gever simlat isha. The other way around. That a man should not wear a woman's clothing that's designated specifically for her. For example, let's say your wife at home, she wants to wear your pajamas. Right? What's the problem? Can she wear it or not? Or is she doing a Torah prohibition by wearing a man's clothing? Now you have to understand, when it comes to pajamas, t-shirts, shorts, in the house, not outside, inside the house. I mean, I could tell you that they can be used for both, for men and women. They could be unisex. Yeah, okay, so you bought it for yourself, but she could also wear it. So therefore, things like that, like t-shirts, sweatpants, those kind of things, there wouldn't be a problem for a woman to wear it at home. However, what happens if a woman right now wants to go out and she wants to wear her husband's white shirt, for example, or any other shirt in the house, where it's designated for men? Over there, she's not going to be allowed to wear it, even inside the house, because it's not unisex. Or the other way around. Let's say, right, you have women that wear leggings. To wear leggings outside is asur because of pritut, because it's imaras, because it shows the woman's body. However, Rabotai, if a woman wants to wear leggings inside the house, that's up to her. Is she transgressing the prohibition of wearing a man's garment? No, because men don't wear tights. But here we go. Let's go the other way now. What happens if a guy, I don't know if you see, Baruch Hashem, they have this new basketball league that they made, Ami Athletics. Okay, I allow my kids to watch it. My brother plays there. I allow my kids to watch it. And something, that's the time, we spend, or sometimes they even go to the game. That they're allowed to watch. There's Jewish men playing basketball, okay, that they're allowed to watch, why not? But you see a lot of times you have men over there, they're wearing leggings, right? They wear shorts, but under the shorts, they wear leggings. So here's the question. Can a man wear leggings? The answer is, if the leggings are specifically designated for women, and they're wearing it, they're not allowed to wear it. But the other way around, Rabotai, if the leggings that they're wearing are specifically designated for playing basketball, then it's not a problem. It all depends what was the purpose when they created the garment. If it's able to be used as unisex, okay, no problem. But if it was created for men alone, then women are not allowed to use it. If it was created for women alone, then men are not allowed to use it. Now, why did we have to come over here? Because you have to remember, when you're looking at the question that they ask Chacham Ovadia regarding the unibrow, we have to ask ourselves one question. Do women, do they pluck their unibrow? Do women take care? I know they do their eyebrows, but do women also grow unibrows? If a woman would have to go ahead and right now, to grow unibrow, and she would have to remove the hair between the eyebrows, maybe it should have been a problem even for men. Because it's not only in wearing a woman's clothing, it also comes to the way women fix themselves, they beautify themselves. For example, we're going to see right now, the Shulchan Aruch brings down in your day in Simon Kuf Pei Bet in Halacha Aleph, that's Simon 182 in Halacha number 1, in the Yoreh Day edition, Hama'avir Se'ar Beit Shechi Ubeit Ha'erva, anybody who removes armpit hair or pubic hair, Afilu b'misparayim ke'en ta'ar, even if he removes it with scissors, like a razor, meaning to say, he removes the armpit hair or the pubic hair close to the skin, Hayu makim oto makat mardut, they would give him lashes for rebelling, for being a rebellious person. So in our case with the unibrow, when Chacham Ovadia said that a guy is allowed to go ahead and remove the unibrow, does that fall under the umbrella of Lo Tilbash Simlat Isha? This that we said in the Torah, where it says in Sefer Devarim in Perek Chav Bet Pasuk Hey, Lo Yikli Gever Al Isha, that a woman is not allowed to wear a men's garment, V'lo Yilbash Gever Simlat Isha, and that a man is not allowed to wear a woman's clothing by removing the unibrow. Again, Chacham Ovadia said it's mutar, but we want to understand why it's mutar. By removing the unibrow, does he fall under the category of doing what a woman does? Now, why is this so important to know? I should have said this earlier, because he says over here, Ki to'avat Hashem Elokecha kol oseh eila. Because he says, this becomes an abomination in the eyes of Hashem, your God, anybody who does this. Any woman that wears a man's garment, or a man that wears a woman's garment, this is an abomination to Hashem, your God, anybody who does this. Now you have to understand, what about removing the eyebrows? Is this something that women do? Again, women fix their eyebrows, but we're speaking right now about the unibrow. So, Chacham Ovadia Rabotai brought this down from the Shulchan Aruch in the Yoreh Day edition in Simon Kuf Pei Bet in Halacha Aleph, that's Simon 182, Halacha number 1. The Shulchan Aruch states over there, Hama'avir Se'ar Beit Shechi Ubeit Ha'erva. If a person removes armpit hair or pubic hair, I'm speaking about men right now. Women are allowed to do it because women have to be refined. They have to look beautiful for their husbands. If a man goes ahead and he removes armpit hair or pubic hair, even if he removes it with scissors that are like razors, meaning he goes ahead and he cuts the armpit hair or the pubic hair close to the skin, Hayu makim oto makat mardut. They would lash him, the lashes of for being rebellious. Because in reality, a man should not shave his armpits. A man should not shave his pubic hairs. If he went ahead and he did do so, we would give him lashes. Now, Rabotai, why is that? Because like we said over here, Rabotai, this falls under the category of women doing it. That's what it says in the pasuk. V'lo yilbash gever simlat isha kito avat Hashem elokecha kol se'ila. A man shouldn't wear a woman's clothing. It doesn't only mean clothing alone. It could also refer to, Rabotai, the way women behave. What women do, men shouldn't do. What men do, women shouldn't do, because it's an abomination in the eyes of Hashem. So in our situation where Chacham Avadi said it's mutar, do you know why he said it's mutar? Because Rabotai, we're going to see right now, number one, he's going to say women do not grow unibrows. So therefore it's not the custom of women, so therefore men are allowed to do it. But before we move on there, let's go back to the halakha regarding the armpit hair and the pubic hair. The Shulchan Aruch said you're not allowed to do it. Nevertheless, we did mention somebody did do it, and he did it to such an extent, if it's close to the body, meaning close to the flesh, he trimmed the hair so much that it's already close to the hair, like you would do with a razor. We said, makin oto makat mardut. We would give him lashes, the lashes for being rebellious. Continues the Shulchan Aruch says, do you know when this was said? When did we say you're not allowed to go ahead and remove your armpit hair or your pubic hair? That is specifically b'makom she'en ma'avarin oto ela nashim. That is specifically in a place where women only remove armpit hair and pubic hair. Men don't usually do it. If you live in such a place or in such a community where men don't shave their armpit hair, they don't shave their pubic hair, and you do it, over there we're going to tell you you're going to get makat mardut. Why? Because you're doing what women do. Women need to do it to look good, to be beautiful, not to be disgusting on the husbands. But why are you doing it? That's what he says over here. When did we say you're not allowed to do it? In a place where only women do it. Why are we going to give him the punishment of malkut? Why are we going to give him lashes? Because we don't want you to start beautifying yourself like women beautify themselves. Men are men. Men have to be men, not women. Women have to be women. Men have to be men. Aval, however, he says, b'makom, in a place, shema'averin oto gam anashim. But if you live in a place where men also have the custom of removing, of shaving the pubic hair and the armpit hair, im he'ivir en makin oto. If he went ahead and he did remove it, we're not going to give him lashes. Because now it's not only women that do it, it's also men that do it. So if also men that do it, we're going to tell you he does not transgress the prohibition of wearing a woman's garment. So therefore it's not an abomination. Therefore we're not going to go ahead and we're not going to give him makut. The Ramah says, Va'afilu lechatchila shari. The Ramah says, even lechatchila you are allowed to go ahead and you are allowed to remove armpit hair and pubic hair. Rak ha'chaverim nimneim b'chol makom. Rather, only people, only Talmidei Chachamim, wherever they live, they're going to refrain from shaving their armpit hair or their pubic hair. So now he says, Imken. So therefore, if this is the halakha in regards to armpit hair and pubic hair, Kan yesh lomar, over here we can say by our situation, by the unibrow, Ein ze davar hamiyuchad l'nashim. This is not specifically designated for women. Why? שהרי לא גדל לנשים שם שיער שמורידות אותו. Because women, they don't grow a unibrow to tell me that they're going to go and they're going to take it down. So if women don't do it, therefore we're going to tell you that a man is allowed to go ahead and do it. He continues and he says, כן יש להוסיף מה שקדם מרן שם סעיף ד'. Also you can add what Maran the Shulchan Aruch wrote over there in Halacha Daled. מי שיש לו חטיטים בבית השכר ובבית הערווה. If a person has a wound or a scab under the armpit or in the private place, ומסתער מצעד השיער, and now he's pained because he has hair in the armpit place or the private place, mutar להעבירו, you're allowed to remove it. דהיינו, which means to say, אם כוונתו מחמת צער, if the whole reason why you are removing the hair is because of pain, you're allowed to remove it. ולא כדי להידמות לנשים, not because you want to look like women, right? They're smooth completely. They don't have hair on their body. They're clean. You're not doing it because you want to be like women. You're doing it because it's bothering you, it's causing you pain. Hadavar mutar, you're allowed to go ahead and you do it. You're allowed to go ahead, you're allowed to remove the armpit hair or the pubic hair. וכן הדבר כאן שעושה כן כי מסתער מחד מראהו. So too with our case over here, with the unibrow. The reason why he wants to remove the unibrow is because he is pained because the way he looks. When people look at him, they look at him the wrong way. They make fun of him. They embarrass him. So there's pain. So he's not doing it because he wants to look like woman. No, he's doing it because he's pained. So therefore we're going to tell him he's allowed to remove the unibrow. Look also what the Mordechai wrote. If you have people that they have a lot of hair on their hands, and they're ashamed to be seen like this amongst people, they're allowed to even shave their hands or wax their hands because there's no greater pain than this. Rabotai, look how we're concerned with people's emotions. And similarly, Tosfos also wrote the same thing. Bishvil tzaro, ve'im elo tzar acher ela shemitbaesh lelech ben bnei adam. If there's no other pain, but rather he feels ashamed by going amongst people, Shari, he's allowed to go ahead and he's allowed to take away the hair. De'en lechatzar gadol mizeh. He said, because you don't have any more pain greater than this. This is the greatest pain. So what do we see over here, Rabotai? When we began with the question, is a person who has a unibrow, is he allowed to take down the unibrow? Chacham Ovadia said, mutar. Why? For the reasons we just mentioned in the class. So we see over here, Rabotai, if a man has a unibrow and is bothering him, he's allowed to take it down, and we're not going to tell him he's violating the law from the Torah where it says he's not allowed to do what women do. Number one, we said women usually don't grow unibrows, so they don't clean it over here because of unibrow. They make their eyebrows, but not because of the unibrow. Number one. Number two, if it's causing the guy pain, embarrassment, discomfort, for that reason alone, a man is allowed to shave his armpit, his pubic area, meaning the pubic hair, the private area, and also a person is even allowed to go ahead and shave his arms. Why? All because it causes him shame. Now we are moving on to Evan Shalema. In Evan Shalema in Perek Gimel Mishnah Aleph, the Gaon Mevilna brings down and he states, Bitachon v'istapukut הם כללים לכל המידות הטובות והם הפך תאווה וחמדה. Trusting in Hashem and being content with what you have, they are the kalalim, they are the rules. If I can better put it, they are the bridges to all the good midot. ביטחון והסתפקות הם הכללים לכל המידות טובות. When a person trusts in Hashem, and we're going to see what does it mean to trust in Hashem, and when a person is content with what he has, these two things are the kalalim for all good character traits. And these two character traits are just the opposite of tava and chemda. Is the opposite of desiring or wanting something or longing for something. The main thing of everything is bitachon, to trust in Hashem. Anybody who's lacking this trust, I'm going to have to read for you what the Likutei Hagra says, but give me 1 second. Anybody who's lacking this type of bitachon, ein torato mitkayim biyado. His Torah will not stay by him. Meaning to say, whatever he's going to learn, he's going to forget. Whatever he's going to learn, he's not going to be able to fulfill it to the best of his ability. Rabotai, we have to understand, what is the problem? What is going on over here? What is the Gom Mivula telling us? Do you know why a lot of people have a hard time serving Hashem? Because what is our mind on? Our mind is not on how am I going to learn tomorrow better? How am I going to daven better? How am I going to do mitzvot better? What is our mind on? Tava and chemda. What am I going to eat? What am I going to watch? Where am I going to go? What am I going to buy? Rabotai, we are always looking for other things to make us happy. We don't trust in Hashem that this what we have is exactly what we need. That's why he tells you, histapakut, being content. You have to trust in Hashem that whatever you have is the best situation for you in your life. When you are able to do that, you are able to learn Torah, do mitzvot, because your mind is not drifting everywhere else. Your mind is solely on HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Rabotai, you have a lot of people that draw their life from the stuyot of the world, from the garbage, from the outside. That's what gives them life. You ask a person, what is the highlight of your week? Sunday. Why Sunday? Super Bowl. Super Bowl Sunday. That's my highlight of the week. That's your highlight, idiot. That's your highlight. Tell me I'm going to go and learn Torah for that time. That's your highlight. But Rabotai, but that's what it is. You ask a person, what is the highlight of your day? He's working all day. Poor guy. What is the highlight? When I'm going to come home and I'm going to have 30 minutes or 1 hour or 2 hours to myself, I'm going to sit like a couch potato, I'm going to watch TV, I'm going to watch a movie, I'm going to, disconnect. That's the highlight. Rabotai, do you see what's going on over here? The ta'ava, the chemda, our desire, our lust for the wrong thing is not allowing us to serve Hashem. Our mind is occupied with the garbage of the world. Do we see that? A person is davening Shemona Esrei, correct? Let me not even go far. A person, in the morning you wake up, you're davening Shemona Esrei. Be honest, what's on your mind? Be honest with yourself, what's on your mind? Hashem or the food? What are you going to eat after you finish davening? That, Rabotai, that's how you want to serve Hashem. That's how you want to serve Hashem. Rabotai, where's our mind? Where's our mazgi? It's not with us, Rabotai. It's everywhere else but with us. And that's the problem. You know why? Because we are always wanting more. We are always desiring more. That's what the Gom says, bitachon, vistapekut. These two, trusting in Hashem. When you trust in Hashem, you're content. You understand whatever you have, that's exactly what you need. Once you're able to do that, you're able to go ahead and now you're able to build all your good character traits. From that, everything builds. Whatever you have, that's exactly what you need and not more. But Rabotai, opposite of those character traits is ta'ava v'chemda. Those two do not allow you to build. Those two do not allow you to have good midot. If you cannot have good midot, you cannot be a good Jew. You cannot be a good Jew, Rabotai. Derech eretz kadma leTorah. One way to understand what it means, derech eretz kadma leTorah, being a human being preceded the Torah. We have to be normal, Rabotai. We have to be a being. How many of us, Rabotai, are normal? When was the last time you cared if you hurt somebody or you upset somebody or you disrespected somebody? When was the last time, Rabotai, you cared for this? Everybody's becoming brazen. Yeah, somebody said, Rabbi, he said he was driving in a train or in a bus, I don't know, wherever he was riding. And he said, there's an old lady walked in. And you see the young children, they're sitting. I don't know, Jews, not Jews, I don't know who they were. They're sitting. Nobody gets up. Rabota. Where's the Derech Eretz, Rabota? Forget about being Jewish, not Jewish. Forget about learning Torah. Where's the Derech Eretz? Rabotai, our generation is losing that faith. Nobody has shame. That's a better way of putting it. Where's our shame when we do things? We're not ashamed of anything no more. Come on, Rabotai, what's going to be? But what? He puts on a black kippah. He puts on a beard. He puts on piyot. She covers her hair with a mitpachat. She dresses fully tzinius. But where's your midot, Rabotai? But the problem is because we have so much tava and chemda. We have so much desire, lust. So we think, we cover ourselves with Hashem's Torah, but in the inside, Rabotai, we're rotten. We're not good Jews. And then you wonder why you're not able to fulfill the Torah, why you're not able to learn the Torah, why you're not able to do the mitzvot. Very simple, because right here the Gaon Mivulna says, "Umi shehu muksar bitachon, ein torato mitkayim biyado." Anybody who's lacking bitachon, anybody who's lacking trusting in Hashem, that whatever he has is exactly what he needs and nothing more. Rabotai, if you don't believe that, the Torah will not stay by you. Meaning to say, when you learn Torah, you won't enjoy it. When you do mitzvot, you won't enjoy it. Rabotai, we don't understand. When our mind is roaming and always looking, what's the next thing that's gonna make me happy? Am I gonna watch this? Am I gonna wear this? Am I gonna go on a vacation? Am I gonna get myself a new car? If your mind is always thinking about other things, how in the world do you want to give yourself to Hashem? How? I know it says over there in the Torah, it states, "Ve'ahavta et Hashem Elokecha b'chol levavecha." You should love Hashem, your God, b'chol levavecha, with all your heart. How can I love Hashem with all my heart if my heart is running after other pleasures of the world? Rabotai, how can I love Hashem with all my heart? So right there I'm lying. Over there I'm lying, Rabotai. The Rav Chaim says every time when you say that pasuk, try to love Hashem for something. Because otherwise it comes out that we're lying to Hashem. What, you really love Hashem with all your God? With all your heart? You really love Hashem with all your heart? You really love Hashem with all your heart? If you love Hashem with all your heart, why are other things preoccupying your heart? Because we don't love Hashem with all our heart. We love Hashem partially, but not with all our heart, Rabotai. Maybe 10%, maybe 20%, but not 100%. It can't be, Rabotai, if you love Hashem 100%, it cannot be that you're not going to want to do His mitzvot, that you're not going to feel the sweetness of the Torah, the sweetness of the mitzvot. It cannot be. I think it was Yaakov Yisrael, the disciple, I think it was the disciple, one of the Gedolim from the previous generation. He said something fascinating. He said, if a person, when he's serving Hashem, when he's learning Torah, he was going specifically on learning Torah. If when you're learning Torah, you have anything else on your mind that you have to take care of, I don't know, throw out the garbage, take care of the meal, pay the bill, anything that's on your mind, if there's anything that's fighting, if there's anything that's competing in your mind for your attention at the time when you learn Torah, you won't be able to learn Torah properly. You know why? Because when it comes to Avodat Hashem, you gotta be there fully. But we're not there fully, Rabotai, we're not. We're not there fully. Ask me, I'll tell you, we're not. What's the proof? When it comes to learning Torah, we're sleeping away. We're waiting for Rabbi Chanan ben Akash to come. When it comes to doing mitzvot, put on the tefillin, take off the tefillin, shake the lulav, throw it away. Sukkot, I gotta build a sukkah again, right? Pesach, gotta clean the house. Well, all these complaints, no problem. When it comes to everything else, when it comes to the Super Bowl or any other game that you like, what kind of fire you have in you? Huh? Somehow you could wait for the Super Bowl 2 weeks. You could wait for it to begin, or 3 weeks. I don't know how long it's taken before they're going to start. You could wait. You're excited for the game. You have this emotions running in you. Who's going to win? Who should I put my money on? But Rabotai, why don't we have exactly the same emotion for Hashem? Because our heart is not with Hashem, our heart is with everything but Hashem. Look what he says over here. We need to understand, Rabotai, we are drawing, Rabotai. A person, he draws the shtiyot into his life from the outside. This person in the end won't be happy. He'll be the most depressed person in the world. You know why? Because can you imagine working all your life to get the best house, the best vacation, the best girls, the best watches, the best cars, I don't care, the best jewelry. You acquired so much in your life. Now when it's time to die, who's going to escort you? Who? People are going to start fighting over who's going to get what. Rabotai, over there, that's going to eat you. You're going to say to yourself, wow, I wasted my life for this, for them, where I could have invested in Olam Haba, where I could have invested in eternity, and I didn't. Rabotai, that is the most saddest part in the world. That is real Gehenom right there, you understand? That is real Gehenom. Rabotai, we have to be smart. We have to allow Rabotai, we have to draw our life from the Torah. Our life has to surround around whatever you want to call it. And it has to be circulate around the Torah. If the Torah allows it, I do it. If the Torah doesn't allow it, I don't do it. Our life has to revolve around the Torah. If it doesn't, Rabotai, you're going to be very disappointed. You will be very disappointed. I don't care who you are. In the end, you will be very disappointed. When you're going to die, and your neshama is going to look down and just say, oh wow, the body is there, but I'm here. Where's everything else? And you can't take nothing with you. You can't take nothing with you, only your mitzvot and your Torah. Let that, Rabotai, be your fuel. Let that be, Rabotai, the source of your life. Not the shtuyot in the outside world. Rabotai, we don't understand that the outside world, it distracts. It reinforces. It makes our inner world believe that it's a necessity. When you look, you're always looking here, you're always looking there. What is that? Rabotai, you're programming your mind subconsciously that you need that. You're letting your neshama know that you need it. Every day the neshama is battling. No, I don't need it, I need mitzvot. I don't need it, I need mitzvot. But again, you're reprogramming it. When you do that, Rabotai, that is what's going to rob you of your life. What kind of life, Rabotai? The life, that connection to be connected to Hashem, you're not going to be able to have. You know why? Because there's something else that is competing for your attention, which is the outside world. We cannot draw our life from the outside world. Those things should not make us happy. It's nice. I'm not telling you, Rabotai, to chas v'shalom, look like a bum or sleep like a beggar, lo leinu, and eat who knows. No. Be normal, Rabotai. But, Rabotai, balance. There has to be balance. There's no balance. We work more than we serve Hashem. We eat more than we do mitzvot. We play more than we learn Torah. Rabotai, it's a problem. Where's the balance? Rabotai, do not condition your neshama with what the world says. Do not let them do that to us. And that's what they're doing. What Hitler couldn't do, Yimach Shemot, they're doing that, Rabotai. Comes the Gaon Rule and he says, you know how you have to run away from these things? You know the foundation of avodat Hashem is bitachon. What kind of bitachon, Rabotai? What kind of bitachon? He's tapakud. You have to trust in Hashem that whatever you got, that is enough. You have to be content with what you have, and then see how you're going to be able to build your avodat Hashem. You're going to be able to build yourself. You're not going to be like a dog running after this and that and that. Oh, he has better than me. Oh, I have to do better. You never, Rabotai, you're going to have peace of mind. When you have tranquility, you're able to learn Torah. When you understand, this is where I have to be, this is where I have to be, this is where Hashem wants me to be, That's what's going to be. I'm going to be here. Where am I going to go? Here I am learning. Where am I going to go? Hashem wants me to learn. I'm learning. Hashem wants me to be stuck in traffic. I'm stuck in traffic. Whatever Hashem wants me to do mitzvot, I'm doing mitzvot. Whatever you Hashem want me to do, whatever you give me at that moment, this is exactly what I need, and I need nothing else. Rabotai, look what he says over here. How do we know? Because the Gaon Vilna says in the Lukutei Hagra, he says, Tzaddik ve'tzaddik be'emunato yichya. He says, a tzaddik, meaning a righteous person, shall live by their faith. Rabotai, did you hear what I just said? He shall live by their faith, meaning, who do we believe? In Hashem. Rabotai, what did Hashem give us? The Torah. We should live, Rabotai, by the Torah, not by the external things that surround us. I'm not saying it's easy, Rabotai. I'm not perfect. But what I am saying is, we gotta do something about it, Rabotai. We're gonna chas v'sham lo lein, Rabotai. Not only lose many Jews to assimilation. Those Jews could be your own children. Those Jews could be your own children with what's going on in the world. You know how many people assimilate every single day? You have any idea how many calls, Rabbi this, Rabbi that? Come on, Rabotai, we can't take care of the whole world. The rabbis can't do the job themselves. People, you have to help yourselves also. Rabotai says like this. When it says over here, you know what that means? That a righteous person shall live by their faith. Tzaddiku, you know who's righteous? Mi she'itzdik nafsho b'midat hahistapukut. He says, is the righteous person, is that one that justifies his soul with the character trait of being content. Rabotai, if you tell your neshama this is what you need, you don't need more. Whatever you have, Rabotai. You don't have to always be running after all the pleasures of this world. This is where the whole problem comes in. With people, mentally, what they say, mentally depressed, antidepressant, drugs, alcohol, suicides. Rabotai, because we're not content, we're always looking for other things to make us happy. Rabotai, read my lips. Nothing will make you happy in this world like Torah, mitzvot, and avodat Hashem. I'm going to say it again. Nothing will make you happy in this world like mitzvot, Torah, and avodat Hashem. You can sleep with 1 million girls. You can eat all the food in the world. You can go to all the vacations. You can have $100 billion in your account. In the end, all that will not give you that satisfaction when it comes to serving Hashem and learning His Torah. Rabotai, not 0.001% you're going to feel satisfied. Compared to when you learn Torah. Tzadiku, mi she'izdik nafsho b'midat hahistapukut. A righteous person is someone who justifies their soul with the trait of contentment. It's okay, you don't have to have everything, Rabotai. Being content with the physical is normal. Don't be content when it comes to mitzvot and Torah. Over there you want to go a lot because that's your olam haba. He says, like it says in the pasuk in the Mishlei, Perek Yud Gimel pasuk of Hey, tzaddik ochal l'sov nafsho. A tzaddik only eats to satiate his neshama, Rabotai. You eat enough, Rabotai, in order to be able to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Don't go above and beyond. You don't. If whatever you have right now, that's exactly what you need. He says, a tzaddik, a righteous person, who eino chomed lema she'eino shelo. A righteous person, he does not covet. He does not desire what does not belong to him. If you don't have it, it means you don't need it. Hashem knows what He's doing, Rabotai. If Hashem is running the world, that means He knows what He's doing. Umistapek b'me'at, and he's content with the little. That's a righteous person. A righteous person, he understands, Rabotai, he does not desire, he does not covet what other people have. And he's happy, and he's satisfied, and he's content with the little that he has. When it says over there, what's be'imunoto? When it says v'tzadik be'imunoto, what does it mean? With their faith. Shebotech umamin be'Hashem. The tzaddik, he trusts and he believes in Hashem. Ve'eno metavel yoter min hatzarich lo. He does not desire more than what is needed. The Rabotai, how many beds can you already sleep on? How many shoes can you already wear? How many clothing can you wear at one time? Rabotai, we have to stop running after the shtuyot. Again, I'm going to make this clear. I'm not telling you, Chas v'shalom, Rabotai, to neglect yourself. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, we have to prioritize what's important to us. If those are the means to serve Hashem better, then do it. I'm not telling you not to do it. But to get fully invested, fully soaked into the material world and forget about Hashem, that, Rabotai, is crazy. That's not normal. When you look at the Ha'istapilkut v'Habitachon, you know what they're both coming to teach us? When you look at the being content, Vehu Allah Avar, that is going on the past. What about the future? Ve'Allah Haba, what about the future? La'avar shemisapek b'ma sheyesh lo. Right? For the past, whatever Hashem gave you, you have to be content with whatever you have. Don't worry. Ula haba'a, but for the future, what is going to come to you, don't run after it. Hu tole bitchono b'Hashem. He goes out and he depends, he trusts in Hashem. Whatever Hashem is going to give me is going to come to me. So this way, Rabotai, I'm never fighting, oh, maybe I could have done this, or maybe I should do this. So I'm always thinking about the past, I'm always worried about the future. When am I going to live in the moment? When am I going to live in the present situation? Never. Because I'm always thinking back, always thinking forward. So when am I going to enjoy anything I do in this world? Never, Rabotai. Comes the Gaon Mivulin says, when it comes to the past, be content. That means whatever you have up to now, that's what Hashem needed to give you. What's going to be with the future? That you should trust in Hashem. Trust in HaKadosh Baruch Hu that whatever comes your way, that's exactly what you need in your Avodat Hashem, in your Tikkun HaNefesh. That's exactly what you need. You did not need anything else. If you would need a bigger house, if you would have needed more money, Hashem would have given it to you. But He didn't give it to you. That means it's not up to you to go out right now and start looking for it. Yeah, you have to go to work. You have to be normal, Rabotai. Again, be normal. But it doesn't mean that we have to forget Hashem. That's what comes to Gaon Mivulin, and he says, when a person has bitachon, v'istapekut, when a person has trust in Hashem, and he's content with what Hashem gives him, you should know these two are the foundation for all the good midot. Vehem hefach ta'ava v'chemda, and they're the opposite of ta'ava and chemda, of desire and covering. Ve'ikar ha'kol hu bitachon, and the main thing of all is trusting in Hashem and knowing and believing and understanding that whatever I have, that's exactly what I need for my avodat Hashem. Umishu muksar bitachon ein toroto mitkayim biyodo. Anybody who's lacking this bitachon, where he's understanding and he trusts in Hashem that everything comes from Hashem and he should be content, and he's not, ein toroto mitkayim biyodo. The Torah will not be fulfilled in his hand. Either we could learn that the Torah, whatever he learns, he's not going to enjoy it. Whatever he learns, he's not going to remember it, or he's not going to even be able to fulfill the Torah the proper way. Do you know why? Because when I'm learning Torah and my mind's on something else, I cannot fully envelop myself with the Kedusha of the Torah.